Yes, yes. How is everybody doing? How are you guys? It's been a minute. I think I've been off stream for maybe a month. So I was getting the move done and stuff. But you know, I've come back. I promised I would. We're back. We're in the new space. It's nice. We don't really like the cushions back here, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll change them eventually. But yeah, I'll let people join. Let me know what you've been up to. I was listening to the new JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown album today. And I threw it in the Discord. But it's just, I don't know if I'm getting too old. It's not really doing it for me. I wasn't really feeling it. It was just very, it seemed very all over the place. I know JPEG Mafia is just such a fantastic producer. And I'm a big, big fan of Danny Brown. I listen to Danny Brown's podcast. I've listened to his previous albums for years, since I was at college, I think. So a good 10 years. But just, yeah, the JPEG Mafia, Danny Brown collab, it was just, pretty, for me, it was here, there, and everywhere. And it seemed very random. And yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. But let me know if you listen to that JPEG Danny collab and what your kind of views on it is. I know that our boy Josh loves it. Seven State loves it. There's gonna be a lot of people that enjoy it, but maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm like in the old school hip hop zone now. What's up, Tosso? Good to see you, man. But yeah. And then I heard that there's a new Black album out, but I haven't checked that out yet. Nomberg put me on that today. Nomberg, a previous Beat Battle winner, good friend, moderator of the Discord. Yeah, he put me onto the Black album. We just put out a track as well, me and Nomberg, called Selenite. It's out on Spotify. I got some new music coming in the next couple of weeks. I might work on maybe a new track today. But let me know your vibes. What's up, Scully? Good to see you, man. It's been a hot minute. I gotta remember that my camera's not over here where it normally is for YouTube, and it's not over here where the chat box is. It's up here. It's never been up here before. So if I start looking off into the distance, you just let me know. Because it might take me a minute to remember. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. Tosso, all good on featuring you on the playlist. Doesn't cost anybody anything. And, most people get thrown in the top 20 spot. Can we ask questions? What will you be doing today? You can ask as many questions as you want, Jack. It's all good. I'm thinking I'm going to stick around for the next, 60 minutes maybe. I might make a beat or two. No, JPEG album was so good. The Seven State, of course, here to defend his boys. I said that you enjoyed it. I just don't know why I didn't get it. I was listening to it while I was cooking some lunch. It was just here, there, and everywhere. Wet Pizza says, love your vids. Shout out from Seoul. Is it Seoul or Seoul, Korea? But shout out from the UK right back. Wet Pizza, thank you so much for being here. What genre will I be doing, Jet Jet? I don't know. That's up to you guys. Salah, what's up, my little bro? Hope you're doing good. Um, Good to see you, Colors and Clouds. Everybody's jumping in now. What do you guys want me to make today? I'm happy to just hang out and talk Ableton and talk music and generally hang and answer questions. I got Ableton open in the back. Maybe start something new. Maybe finish something. Lotus Beats, good to see you. I've been making how do I say your name? That's a crazy name. Stuas? Quastas? That's such a hard name. You're gonna have to write it phonetically for me. But thank you so much for your subscription. Appreciate you. Tosso, I'll probably won't do feedbacks in today's session. Mainly because I keep getting demonetized when I do. Because obviously you guys put it out and then I do it in the stream and then my videos get demonetized. But I am, on that note, I'm thinking about maybe doing a new tier for the Patreon and existing members where we do like a Zoom hangout, like a Sunday morning coffee kind of deal. One for the American audience, one for the UK audience. So there'll be 2 streams a month where we just talk music. We don't do like we don't do feedback for people's tracks, but we just like listen to tunes together and kind of do a little bit of listening skills. Listening skills is a session I used to deliver when I was a lecturer. Some of you may or may not know I was like a college lecturer for like 10 years. Listening skills were one of my favorite subjects. We just sit down for an hour and listen to tunes, but it really helps develop your ear in terms of like what's going on in the low end, what's going on in the high end, so on and so forth. And I kind of want to bring that back as a hangout, get to actually chat with you guys. So maybe like 20 people in a Zoom session so we can actually see each other and we can actually talk and just have a coffee and maybe listen to like, I don't know, 4 to 10 tunes, get ready for the day, get inspired. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I might make some tunes today. Someone said, Don Fon said Afro beats and D&B. Afro beats and D&B. That's a tough one. That'd be a tough one, but I'm up for making some Afro beats. I'm up for making some D&B. I want to bring some near archives to the channel as well. So I've been kind of looking for the right kind of like tribal sample to use that. Every time I do a stream, this light makes my head so shiny. I washed my face before the stream. It's not greasy. It just looks like that. Salah says, why don't you upload your beats that you made in YouTube to your Spotify? Some of them go to the Spotify, but that's the reason to join the Patreon. Like you get to download it and you get to work with it. You could listen to it if you want, but you get to work with it and pick it apart. I feel like I'd be ripping off the Patreon family if I uploaded beats to my Spotify and you don't really get to do anything with it. So it's kind of there for the fam, really. But occasionally I upload some of the tracks. Hiding from CCTV, watching this at work. 7 State, I appreciate you, bro. We got to do a tune together as well soon. 7 State's working on some amazing stuff right now. So if you haven't checked out his Spotify, please do. Yeah, I'll show you what I got going on in Ableton this week. I haven't been on loads of music recently. I've just been getting into the new place and getting settled and stuff. But obviously, I had this one that I uploaded to the Instagram. You guys heard it in the intro. It's really loose. It's just me playing in live. So this isn't to the click or anything, which is a shame. I think I'm gonna send this over to Secret Spot. We did a tune together before. That sounds like this. And sort of bring in the bass. I think it just needs like the occasional like little vocal pad and some guitar, which Secret Spot's gonna get on. But I need to convert that to the grid. Working on something today for the YouTube episode tomorrow, because I always backlog it. Literally working on it the day before, and as always, but my imagination run away with me. I might keep this vocal in. What do you think of the vocal? Let's see. So if you check out this episode tomorrow on the YouTube, remember this version. Let me know in the comments of tomorrow's video which version you prefer, because I might release this with the vocals. I know that there's not many tunes, lo-fi tunes that is, with vocals in, but I think this sits really, really nicely. So if you hear tomorrow's version, it's going to be a lot more fleshed out. It's not going to have this lovely delayed vocal that I threw in here. Sounds like this. Ooh, that lovely waves H delay there. It's nice and low in the mix, you know. But yeah, tomorrow's version, a little bit more fleshed out, more pads, more melodics in there, but something similar, so something to look out for. This is inspired by Lenny Loop's new album. It's been a while since I did any lo-fi stuff on the channel, so I thought I'd bring it back for the fam. Let's see what the comments are saying. Solar X says, I want to upload my first chill hop album. What should I do for getting maximum streams? I'd say don't release an album. Release singles. It's going to be more beneficial if you do. If you start to put some research into what a waterfall release is. Bad at math. Good to see you, brother. How you doing? If you look into like a waterfall release one single, and 2 singles, and 3 singles, then maybe an EP with a bonus track, and then slowly release the album over time. You'll get more streams and maximize your audience. I'd use DistroKid at 7% off using that link in the description. And then I'd use things like Submit Hub to promote that track to curators. I've got kind of an idea that I'd like to do for the YouTube. I don't know what you guys think. It's something that I kind of like teased the word at in DistroKid on Discord. But there's a lot of pop-up lo-fi labels at the minute. I don't want to say any names, but you guys probably follow those people. And I'd just be wary. These are just regular people that add a Spotify playlist that has some numbers, and they're just releasing their music. They're just releasing your music through Dashgo, which is like a third-party distributor. You could do it through DistroKid. You could do it yourself through Dashgo. You could do it with CD Baby, and you would keep the revenue. But they're going to take 30%. They're going to release it with Dashgo. They're probably going to split another 33% with the people that will promote that track out, and they're just going to put it in their own playlist. So you're taking a third of what you would do if you just self-released. I'd be wary of that. But let me know if you want to see a video. So it would be like a talking head piece on that kind of subject, because I have some ideas. But yeah, Solar X, DistroKid, CD Baby, Dashgo, whatever you want to use. I'm not trying to promote my sponsors, because there are other services, but I think, DistroKid are the most beneficial service in terms of maximizing promotion, ease of use, allowing you to master your tracks with them, even get artwork, all of that kind of thing. It's kind of all handy in one place. Nomberg, good to see you. How you doing, Nomberg? We were just talking about you. Meeps music. Sounds remotely like a spaceman came traveling. Sounds lovely though, Will. And I mean the previous song. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Frankie Red. I'm new to music production, but I'm wondering why people use Mac over PC. Is there a big reason? I don't know. There's not really a reason people use Mac over PC. You're probably just seeing a lot of people use Mac and your mind switched onto it. Plenty of people still use PC. I prefer Mac because I've used Mac since I was a kid. If I used PC since I was a kid, I'd probably be a PC user. Benefits of PC over Mac is that you can kind of take the components apart, update the RAM individually, update the graphics and all that kind of stuff. with a Mac, it's kind of all soldered in. So whatever you purchase is the thing that you're going to pretty much have until you buy your next machine. But for me, I like Mac the same as I like iPhone. Everything just works as it should, as you bought it straight out of the box. That's the only reason. Peter Walker likes the vocals. I like the vocals too. Bad at Math says, I would be really interested to watch that. Navigating the business part could be overwhelming, super overwhelming. As someone, I don't know what my audience is, 100,000 something. I still find it overwhelming, but having worked in the industry, studied the industry, and I'm now kind of navigating it as a solo artist, I definitely think your best asset as individual artists is just to stay a solo artist. You don't need to go with a label in this day and age. So yeah, I might work on that video. Is Distro's mastering service worth it? Any good? I like it. We could dive into it now if you like. It's super simple. Super simple. So essentially, you just upload a track. Let's use something that maybe I've got from the YouTube channel before. Let's type in Timbo. I know I used this one in an ad before, but we can use it again. So essentially, it's going to upload your file. This might take a little second. I'll go on the screen share real quick. But Nomberg, good to see you, bud. Have a good day at work. See, Nomberg's using PC. The only reason I would switch is because Windows has been getting worse for me. See, you can update it. It's cheap. It's effective, but you've got to stay on top of like updating the RAM, updating the graphics card, all that kind of thing. But Nomberg's a fantastic producer and uses PC. There you go. Have a great day, buddy. Good to see you, man. Big love. Yeah, so with Mixia, you upload your file. Your process is that it's essentially got two options, one for level and one for EQ, but it's going to make your track, what's the word? Comparatively loud. That's not competitively loud. That's the word I was looking for like Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, all that kind of thing, using AI, analyzing your track. If you're a DistroKid user, you get unlimited downloads, unlimited uploads, all that kind of thing. If you're not a DistroKid user, you can jump on Mixia and you get one free download, as far as I'm aware, before you sign up. So, you know, it's worth just previewing if you've got a track that's maybe ready. But yeah, so this will prepare the preview and we'll dive into it. I would use this alongside another website, which I'm forgetting the name of, but we'll look up in a sec if it comes back to me. You might remember it in the chat. It tells us if it's loud enough for Spotify. I think it's called like, is it loudness compensator, loudness metering? Write it in the chat if you know what I'm referring to. But you upload your track there and it'll tell you if you're going to get punished for it being too quiet, too loud, etc. I'd use Mixia alongside that. But here's my original track. Here we go. Here's the master one. And then from here, you've got your intensity, which is how loud do you want it to be. And you can see that with the preview here. This is going to be like super limited, brick wall limiting. And this is going to be a little bit more dynamic. You can see that with kind of the snare markings there. This is pretty much all loud. So let's have a little listen to that. So I kind of like the low intensity with this. And then you get an EQ tilt. So is it going to be like warmer? Is it going to be, brighter? If it's brighter, you get more of those hat sounds. But the low end pretty much stays where it is. Warmer, it's going to sound a little bit darker. So a little bit more focused on kind of the lows and the mids there, not as much high end. For the most part, I keep this in the middle or take it down a little bit. And then you just download your master track and it gives you an option to get it as a MP3, a medium WAV, which is essentially like 48, or high res 44.1. Might be the other way around. I think I got that the wrong way around, right? But yeah, I've done a bunch of tracks in there. Tom Adams Music, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family's good. I hope you had a wonderful weekend as well. You're here, there, and everywhere. I've seen you making music, playing keys. You're at the game, at a gig. I mean, at the game. You might have gone to the game. Who knows? But yeah, so that's Mixia. I forget that website. Loudness compensator, loudness punisher, something like that. If I remember it, I'll come back to it. I'm not really working on anything right now, Tom. I might flip a pack or work on something. Not sure whether to do like a lo-fi piece, a hip hop piece, maybe some Afro beats. Not sure. I got Splice in front of me. I got a question for you guys. Are you guys like? I'm never looking at Splice recently. I got 982 credits. Splice used to be my go-to exciting website where I'm like, what packs are here? But it just seems really stale of late. Is anybody using an alternative website that's a little bit more exciting? I know that that Loop Masters is out there, and we've also got the one for the cool kids, the Crate Diggers. I forget what that one is, where it's like vinyl, actual tracks that you've got access to the stems and things like that. I forget the website. Ewan says Splice is better for presets than sounds, in my opinion. I agree. I download a lot of Serum presets from Splice, but Tracklib 7-state with the save there. Tracklib is the cool one. But the only thing with Tracklib is the fact that you've got to get that license after you've used the Tracklib service. So you're paying for the Tracklib service, and then when you want to release a track, you've also got to pay for the rights to release the track, which I think is a little bit shady, but I'm up for using Tracklib. I might have to try it out. Tom says you should rock that Timbo Star. You destroyed it on your Inspired by. I appreciate you, brother. I do want to finish it, and I might throw it onto something like BeatStars to give to an artist. Splice credits piling up. I don't know. The thing I wish that they would adopt, I understand why they don't for a reason. They would lose some money, but I just wish I could stop. You know how like you pay for plugins? Where's our rent to own stuff here? I don't know if I've got any that I can show you. I don't know where my plugins go. My plugins, here we go. So like you will download plugins, and once you've paid for them, probably shouldn't give away my bloody well, I've already shown you my already showed you my serial code. There is what it is. If you're gonna pirate it, I can't stop you. But yeah, like you pay as much as you want for as long as you want, and then you pause it. You can use it for the rest of the month, and then you can carry on from where you left off. I'll use that service for like the one for vocals, Nectar, I think. I'll use that for Nectar when I'm doing a vocal session. I don't need it all the time, so I cancel that membership, and then I go back to I wasn't on screen share, which was perfect, amazing. I wasn't on screen share, so you couldn't you didn't see me just give away all my all my codes for my plugins. Let's go to screen share now. I do that once every stream. It's because I don't stream enough. But yeah, like so on Splice they got rent to own, right? And I'll use rent to own for Nectar, and then when I'm not in a vocal session, I'll cancel that. I wish you could do that for credits, because I've just got so many credits piling up, and it's obviously when you cancel that membership, that's it. I lose my credits. And obviously my samples stay with me, but just a bit of a shame. Oh, Noisia's got a sample pack. That's kind of interesting. I feel like Noisia are always disbanding, but then they always come out with stuff. What we got here? Of course, yeah, that makes sense. Lots of lovely drum sounds. Where do we go to loops? What we got? Anything? Any melodics here? They're all going to be drums. That's super noisy, isn't it? Is it all just drums? This looks like bass. Alright, Cool. What we got in the chat? I wish I had Splice credits. I'm almost bankrupt. Always go off the samples. Apple after 24 hours. Gotta use your TrackLib credits throughout the end of your billing cycle though, or they'll freeze your active credits once you stop paying. See, I'm not about the TrackLib thing. So we'll. Slick P is in the house. You can pause the membership up to 2 months. Is that for Splice? I didn't know that. See, I might do that because I'm just banking them up. You Vitty Dark Garage tips anyway, Will. What do you mean? For what? Dark Garage in general? 130 BPM? Keep it in a minor key? Use your bass minimally? What kind of tips do you want, my friend? Slick P says, it would be cool if they let you use what you have in the meantime, but it is what it is. I know. They're running a business, isn't it? Meep says, one of my favorite delay plugins is Valhalla Delay. I bought that plugin 3 years ago and recently transferred the license to another PC without any hassle. Nice. I don't know what to say, but I'm pleased for you. I think my favorite delay is probably the H delay from Waves. I use that all the time, but I also use the just the standard Ableton delay. You know, a little bit of Ableton delay on ping pong mixed with echo. Super, super nice. I was doing this today, which I think you guys will dig. This is just a fun, really fun way to get some we could maybe do it in this track actually. I did this on tomorrow's video, but I'll show you it. This is cool. I heard this in Lenny Loop's track. Let's just get an operator, right? This is a great way to get just little bubbly ear candies in your track. You don't have to use operator, you could use anything, but get like a nice pluck. I think that's gonna be great. Is that in the right key? So we'll use the E, right? So all I'm gonna do is just kind of play that same E on 2 octaves. Once I've got that there, I'm going to right click it. I'm going to go to, I got another cool tip that I haven't put in a YouTube video just yet. I'm thinking about doing a video that is just right click everything. Because there's so many hidden options in Ableton. When you just right click things, you'll find out brand new hidden tools that you never knew were there before. Got a little ding from who have we got? Who have we got there? Who gave us a ding? Dizzy. Thanks so much for the subscription. Appreciate you, man. So we've got these like little bleeps and bloops, right? You get a new MIDI track. I'm going to get the granulator from Max for Live. This granulator 2 is free. Don't have to pay for it. It's all good. It's going to appear at the bottom here. I'm going to drag that sound in. We're also going to get an audio track. Get that audio track. Set it to resample. Set it to record alongside the granulator, right? Granulator's already got that sound in, so we can get rid of this guy here. And then what we could do is play C. And see how it's like playing a certain part of the file now. And if we change that grain, ooh, yeah, there it is. So this is the grain size. And we got the file position. So what I like to do is mess around with this and resample at the same time. Maybe on the granulator, you might want to add like some delays. Let's get the delay here. And you know I love using the Valhalla vintage verb. It's my favorite reverb. So we'll throw Valhalla on the end here as well. Cool. Take that mix down. And we'll increase the attack, take the size down, and increase the low cut so there's no muddy stuff. Cool. Cool. So from here, what we can do is, like I said, just set that to record, and then just go to town, mess with the grain size, the file position, the spray. Set it on holds, mess with our attacks and our filters. You can even set an LFO to this so these are all moving at once, but I kind of like to keep it recording. Till we get like a nice sound. That's kind of nice. Cool. Let me take hold off. So down here, I was kind of looping on this. This is lovely, right? I'm gonna take this to a new track. And then we'll throw this over here and freeze and flatten it. So this is in the context of our track now. And then from here, you can kind of like half time that if you want. So warp it, complex, and then speed it up, or half it. From here, you might want to do beats and add like a new reverb. And bring that envelope down. Or you might want to like reverse stuff. Reverse it. It's going to take away some of the transients. I'd probably like create a pattern out of that. So I'd go like something like this. And that can just be underneath. And then what you can do is kind of EQ that. Let's put the EQ, the Valhalla after. There's a nice way to kind of play around with bubbly textures. I would have probably automated that in. Just on that backbeat there, let the reverb kind of spray it away. But it was a kind of fun little texture to do with the granulator there. Ewan McVizzy says, tips on sub-frequencies, struggling to sort EQs properly. There's a nice trick that you can do with the sub-frequencies. If you're doing like a I think this is in the context of like garage stuff, right? So let's go on this Future Garage project that I have here. This is, I think, from the YouTube channel. I used it in a Patreon one-to-one session. I'll have Patreon one-to-one sessions available from next week. So if you're looking to study with me, keep an eye out. So here's a bass. And maybe you've got like another bass that plays with that for some reason. So we're just going to get another instrument. We're going to do this as the organ bass. It's going to sound terrible. Or maybe the kick drum. Kick drum would be a good example. Where's our kick? Cool, we've got a kick drum here. So what you can do is you can use the envelope follower. So in MIDI effects, sorry, there's an envelope follower here. And, oh no, not the envelope follower. That's the wrong thing. What was it called, guys? Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. Modulators. Ah, it was the envelope follower. It was just in audio effects, not MIDI effects. So yeah, so the envelope follower. And then what you want to do is maybe map that to like the fundamental frequency of your kick or of your bass. So for now, we're going to use the kick as an example. So we've got like this really subby frequency. I'm going to get a new node, and this is hitting at like 75. So I'm going to map this to the gain, and every time that kick plays, right now it's like bouncing it up. So what I want to do is set that first percentage to 50%, that second percentage to 0. Now it's like ducking down, okay? What I can do is, instead of mapping it to the kick, because that was just looking at where the kick was, what I want to do is get a new EQ on my bass, leave that envelope follower where it is, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that frequency to whatever the frequency was we were talking about, 75.8. So we'll go down to here, 75.8. Cool, there it is. We can get rid of all the other nodes if it's a bit confusing. Cool. And then what we're going to do is, with the envelope follower, hit map, go to that bass, and then hit gain. Now every time the kick plays, it's ducking your bass a little bit. Just super helpful to get some of those muddy frequencies out of the way, but it's not as harsh as a sidechain compressor. If you want to have it do a little bit more damage to the bass, then up that gain on the envelope follower. And when you go back, you'll see it ducking way more. So now when that bass plays, it's not fighting for space in that particular fundamental there. I think that's like a really helpful tip that I learned about like fairly late. Slickly says, waves back down with the subscription thing. Good for them and the community. Yeah, I just seen that. Super, super handy. So now they have like a kind of new take on the service. I haven't dove all the way in, but I need to get up to date on that. Waves did some backpedaling today. Lol. Oh, okay. You guys need to update me then, because I haven't seen the information today. Do let me know. Bad at Math says, I wonder if they were back down. Oh, okay. People were rioting, huh? Tom is up for the right click everything in Logic too. Jack, I have used Logic. Yeah. Jack says, have you ever used Logic? I actually used to be a Logic user for about, I don't know, 8 to 10 years. That was all I used in when I was a college lecturer. That's the software that the college used. And that's actually why I went to Ableton, because it was kind of like logging off the computer from a 7-hour day in Logic with the kids, and then diving into Logic as well at home, and it just made music making really stale. So I hopped over to Ableton as something new to learn. So I would use Logic at work, and then Ableton at home, and then it just became my preferred DAW. So yeah, still use Logic now though. Sometimes I'll do mastering in Logic. I quite like to do a lot of sound design in Logic as well. It's nice to kind of like utilize some of the, I don't know, I think I'm just used to the automation and the curves and like the flex modes in Logic. But yeah, I'll still use it. I just don't put it on the channel. I don't think that's where most of my audience is. And I think the stuff that I do deliver translates well to Logic anyway. John Luke, good to see you, buddy. Yudur says, big fan, Will. Much love from Nepal. Wanted to know your thoughts on Mad Zach. I love Mad Zach. I haven't watched his videos in a bit. He was doing, was Mad Zach. I can't watch any of these videos because I'll get demonetized. But let's see. Mad Zach was the finger drummer? Or was Mad Zach the Ableton? Yeah, he did crazy finger drumming videos back in the day. It used to be one of my favorite YouTubers. Yeah, 10 years ago, 9 years ago. Used to do crazy stuff with what do we call this thing? I forget what it's called. The MIDI fighter. Used to make a lot of racks and stuff. Yeah, Mad Zach, nothing but love for Mad Zach. I didn't know that his subscriber base was so low. That's crazy. I thought he was like super famous. So yeah, shout outs Mad Zach. What was that? Spotify loudness penalty. If you were in the stream this whole time, this is what I was talking about. I would use Mixia alongside loudness penalty. So that's just to ensure that when you upload a track to Mixia, I would normally go by the rule of having your track at like or the master at sort of like -5. So not putting a limiter on your master and running everything through the master, but just with all your tracks, they're kind of hitting at like -6, -5. And then when you upload it to Mixer, you're going to have plenty of headroom for it to make it louder. And then what you can do is go to loudness penalty analyzer. I think this is such a handy website. We'll use the Timbo track, for example. It's going to be too quiet, right? Because this was something that I created on YouTube for showing on Mixia, so it'll be too quiet. But here it is, and it's -1.2 dB too quiet for Spotify, right? And these are the other options. So you're trying to look for something as close to 0 as you can for Spotify. Then you're in a really, really good place. Loudnesspenalty.com, absolutely free, wonderful website, super, super helpful. And apparently they now have a plugin as well. So yeah, something else to share there. But NZ says, "Hey homie, glad to finally catch you. Glad to finally see you in the comments, man. Thank you for all the tips and the comments in the YouTube." Tom Adams says, "When are you going to release some drum presets? I know it's totally off topic, but just curious." Hey, off topic is what we do. When you said drums / presets, are we talking about presets for drums, mixing, mastering? Dive into that a little bit. And yeah, drums, I want to get some live drum stuff down. Obviously I've moved to a new area, so what I actually did before this stream, maybe a couple hours before we started the stream, was just look into I've still not really ventured into. I'm living in Colchester now, for those curious. I know you're based in the US, buddy, so that means nothing to you, but yeah, like I still haven't really visited the town or gone to the surrounding areas, so I was seeing what studios are available. I need to store my kit somewhere, so I'm looking for a studio that might be around that I can record at like once, twice a month and store my drums there. But I want to do some drum packs with live drums. Obviously, there's 2 lo-fi packs, or a boom bap pack and a lo-fi pack over at BandLab that you can download completely free that I've made. But yeah, I wanna work on some more drum kits and Serum presets. All right, cool. Yeah, I could work on some Serum presets. It's been a minute since I've done any presets. I think the thing that I think about when maybe tackling creating Serum presets is I want it to be as universally friendly as possible. And if I make Serum presets, there's going to be people that go, "Oh, what about Omnisphere? What about, this and that, pigments and blah, blah, blah." So I try and keep the presets like just the operator or just a wavetable or something like that, which is a very good for you, Tom, because I know you're in Logic. So, like there's always going to be a certain minority of people that are unhappy. But yeah, I'll definitely work on some presets when I get the time. Something that I wanted to run past you guys whilst we've got some people in the chat is I actually want to do, I've been working with a vocalist recently, phenomenal singer and West End actress, and was thinking about making a free vocal pack. So a lot of times, I don't know if I have a track here to, maybe we can use a little bit from tomorrow's video. We've got this Lenny Loops track that we're working on for tomorrow's video. And this has some quiet vocals in. It's made really popular by lo-fi artists like Mondo Loops and I know Secret Spot does a lot of this. I've tried to adopt a little bit of this as well, but that sleepy kind of lo-fi girl sound has those kind of vocal pads in the bottom. But the problem is we're always like using either something like the think, oohs and ahs and ms, and Lo-Fi B. Nomberg just head off to work, actually. Just missed him. But yeah, we're either utilizing samples, drenching in reverb, or utilizing something like the Think Pack or Arcade, where you only get a set number of the keyboard. But I started working with this vocalist, and we were just kind of thinking out loud at maybe making a free vocal pack, if you guys are up for it, if that's something that you guys think you would use. We can get on that. It wouldn't take too long to turn it around. Basically just oohs, ahs and ms of every part of the scale, part of the keyboard, and then some kind of wet ones that are modulated, and then you get the dry ones as well, and maybe throw that into a sampler instrument for those that are um, on maybe I could do it as a contact instrument actually. So then you could use it as Ableton and as Logic. But either way, I might do a sample instrument for Logic, a sample instrument for Ableton. That'll be available at the Patreon if you think that's something that's helpful. But yeah, drums is coming, new pack is coming, and then a vocal pack if you guys are up for it as well. Oh yes, that's it. That's right, Tom. Your wife is from the UK. I didn't know she grew up in Manchester. Manchester's one of the only places in the UK that I haven't really been. I went to a gig there once, played a gig there once, but you do the get in, you do the get out, and then you're out of the city. So I haven't really been there to enjoy it. I need to get to Manchester. Do you guys come to the UK that often, or are you just like, yeah, in the US now? That's it. Let me know. Be good to connect. Enzi says definitely would love to see some sessions using Serum synthesis like standard drums, like kick, snares, hats, and then layering with Foley from a budget mic like a field recorder. I'd definitely like to do some studio stuff of using the live kit in the like in a recording, how I layer those sounds and how to mix the kit in some drums and stuff. I also want to get on some like like Zilla Kami style tracks as well, those kind of like metal inspired tracks. So you might see a little bit of that with ample sound as well, maybe some live drums. Bad Math says, how is the new place? Less noise from the neighbors. Hope you're settling in well. Appreciate the question, man. Yeah, the new place is lovely. I need to get another camera here somewhere so you guys can see the keyboard and you can see the lovely kind of, it's not a backdrop, is it? What do you call it? A front drop that I have in front of me. If you saw any pictures from my Instagram, there was this huge 70-inch hole in the wall. My landlord was like, what do you think of this? And I was like, why would I want a huge cavity in the wall? And then I was like, you know what? Leave the cavity there. I'm not going to fill it with a 70-inch TV. I actually don't even own a TV. But what I'll do is I'll throw all the cables and everything inside, all the lights inside the wall. And then it's nice and covered up for when guests come around. And it's all off the ground and stuff. So yeah, settling into a new place, nice and lovely. It's super, super quiet. No loud neighbors. I'm in a little cul-de-sac, so it's all very nice. It's just a very old town. I think Colchester is the oldest town, the most historical town in Essex, which is like where I was living before. So I'm on the other side of Essex now, just outside of London. So the small adventuring that I have done in the last month, I found some cool like little ancient sites. They have them like glassed off in almost like a shop window. And they're buildings that can't be built on, can't be turned into anything. So they kind of just have them glassed off, and you can look in, and there might be like an old like Roman wheel or an old piece of a castle or something like that. So it's very historical. It's fun. Yeah, really, really enjoying it. NZ says definitely contact, please and thank you. No worries. EV47. Good to see you. Thank you for the compliments. Would be nice to have a meetup and cook up at a studio in the UK. I'll keep people posted. Maybe that's something that I can keep posted for the Discord family, the Patreon family, and just maybe one day book a pirate studio. You guys familiar with pirate studios? Pirate studios are nice. You can just kind of like book online. They give you a code. You show up, and then maybe I'll shout the deets and like 5 of us and meet up and cook something up. Maybe we'll make a YouTube episode about it. Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. I haven't really made anything today. This has just been a hangout and a chat. It's been nice. EV47 is gonna have to fly over. I'll give you a week's notice, buddy. I'll give you a week's notice. All good. I'll buy you some lunch, seeing as you're buying the plane ticket. I haven't really worked on anything that's the super. You know what's cool actually that I'll show you guys. I've been showing this off in a couple of my one-to-one sessions. Let's go into. It wasn't Salute. I might do a Salute episode. I got something here that I've been working on. So I was using, probably get demonetized for this, hopefully not. I've been using the Lao AI. They sponsored a video a while back, but I still had some credits. And I've been using it as like a learning tool. Just to find out what's inside a track. Because sometimes it can be difficult to like listen past the drums and things like that. With the Lao AI, let's get this up so everybody can see. If you haven't used this before, you essentially like select whatever it is that you're working on. So let's go to downloads. I think I did, yeah, let's do like Space Song, for instance, right? And I'm going to extract the drums for me and then leave the rest of the track as well. So I can have the rest of the track or I can have drums. But the cool thing about the Lao AI, and I really appreciate them doing this, is that they hit me up a year ago and they said, do you want us to sponsor the channel? I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm using Spleeter at the time. And they were like, no worries. We think it's like super beneficial tool, but it's all good. We'll reach back out in a year because we've got some updates to do. And they actually did. And I was really surprised. They reached back out a year later. And they said, hey, we've done updates. We're now the first 10 stem separator. So here's you know, all the different types of stems that you can separate it up as. So we can just do drums. This is from Beach House's Space Song. There's the drums, and then I'm going to do this real quickly because I don't want to get demonetized. Here's the rest of the track. They give you a little preview, and then you can process the entire file, and they do it in minutes, so you pay for the amount of minutes that you want. But I've been doing it to separate the music from the drums. So, you know, one of my students wanted to learn about Sunship. And I was listening to that, so we had the garage beat. The really beneficial thing is that I can like split that up. So if you just take a region of the drums, Command E, right? Right click that, right click everything. That's going to be our new theme. Right click that and then convert drums to new MIDI track. You're going to get this. So right now we've got this. And then underneath we're getting this. Okay, not super beneficial, but hear it out. If you know how the algorithm works for Ableton, it is beneficial because these are the transients, and you can see with this top hi-hat here, or top, let's just say beat, whatever this is, it's actually chopped this bit up. It's chopped this little guy up here. It's chopped this little guy up here. It's chopped this little guy up here. So it's actually taking everything. It just doesn't know where to place those sounds. So that's why we're getting this. But if you take the time to split those hi-hats up, maybe we're going to put a hi-hat on the open hi-hat. Maybe we're going to take this hi-hat, put it on a different snare. Maybe we're going to take this hi-hat, put it on a different, I don't know, clave or piece of percussion, something like that. If you split those up, like I have done underneath, and set them to the right sounds, I've just taken a standard UK G kit, and you can see here, MIDI, Y2 mate, so it's still that same, you know, right click, convert, what was it? Convert to new MIDI track, convert drums to new MIDI track. Same exact thing. This is what we get. So that's that. Because it's getting the right swing, it's getting the right transients and everything. You've just got to split it up and put it on the right sounds, which is why this seems so unquantized and so off the grid. What a great way to learn about like kind of drum arrangement and sound selection as well, getting the right sounds. But the other tool I used it for, I'll just play a bit of this because it will demonetize me, is this is the Sunship Try Me Out melodic line. So I actually didn't know that there were so many basses. We've got duh, 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 but we've also got the ban out, which is from like a funk bass pattern. But if you start to listen to the bass, you realize that you've got the organ bass, but you've also got like a low live bass under that as well. So when I was creating the organ bass sound, I'm doing this in a slightly different key with a different pattern for the benefit of my students. But I had the organ bass sound. It was just seeming super thin. So then what I did was take the lovely ample bass here. I love ample basses guitars and ample sounds guitars and basses. Using ample bass P here, a little bit of saturation, a little bit of EQ. Putting that really low in the mix. And under the organ bass. And then we can still take those little one chop samples. So this is something that I got from Splice. Let's find where the key is. Got to be here somewhere. Let's make sure we've got it. There it is. Cool. So we're EQing that off a little bit. Super, super quiet. But right at the end, that's the sample that I wanted. So I kept that super quiet in the mix and used the EQ there. Then we had those 3 basses. I would have never learned about, you know, the 3 basses in Sunship's track if it wasn't for Lao AI. Or, you know, a similar piece of software. So I've been using that recently just to give me more insight into tracks. If you're curious as to how this sounded, by the way, I ended up making something like this. This was just inside the session, not to recreate Sunship, but just to use some similar techniques. So I ended up sampling this guitar here, which actually was part of a longer sample. But you pretty much had all the notes you needed in that little bar. So lots of micro chops here to get the right playing style. Let's turn that back down and play it all as one. Little things like this. Wouldn't have noticed that in the track if it wasn't for the Lao AI kind of splitting this up. There's loads of fun little noises in that I wouldn't have noticed if I'd listened to the whole track, you know, minus the drums. Probably just did get demonetized, but it's all good. But yeah, fun way to kind of like to learn about the different types of grooves and stuff. It's such a lovely classic UK garage groove there. But yeah, no groove pool being used or anything like that. Just ripping it straight out of right click, convert drums to new MIDI line, and just make sure you move those hi-hat markers about. It's chopping all the right transients. It just can't find the sound. I think a lot of people think about a tool like Lao AI or Splitter or you know, any of the other tools that are out there that it's just like, cool, I can get samples now. But it's a really fantastic way to just learn. For me, at least, I have a curious mind. And you know, I think even in this track there was a vocal. My student was asking about like kind of like a Kanye vocal, and there was this vinyl loop higher. They said about it, you know, in terms of being in the style of Kanye's sampling rather than a Kanye vocal. But I found this. I thought that was like such a great vocal, but there's not a version without the music. When you look at it on the Splice pack, they haven't given you a version without the music. So what I did was, you know, just throw that sample with the music and everything into the Lao AI and ask it to just give me the vocals. And then from there, I could change the tempo of it. And then pitch it down. I've pitched it down like 5 steps. And then I could kind of like throw that in as like a kind of Kanye inspired chop there amongst the beat. Doesn't super work, but in terms of like a one-to-one session, this is us building a track, you know, in 60 minutes. So go easy on me there. BT's a great tool, to be fair. I struggle a lot with garage swings, but we'll chuck some sorrel through this. Yeah, absolutely. It's just super handy just to, you know, you can rip the bass, you can rip the vocals, you know, whatever it is. Just give yourself a little bit of a better understanding for how tracks come together. But yeah, I haven't made too much today. I feel a little bit guilty. I feel like every single stream I say I'm going to come back more often, and then I don't. But I am going to try and come back more often. I'm going to try and come back at least weekly for you guys. And the next time I come on, maybe I'll do a micless stream. I think with the mic here and with the chat, I get into like answering questions and stuff, and then I don't end up making anything. So maybe I'll switch the mic off and just work on building some tracks. I want to get back to releasing stuff for vocalists to use and uploading some bits to BeatStars. So yeah, I'll make sure I get on that soon. But I'm gonna shoot off. Promised my granddad I'd give him a call. you gotta do these things. I'm gonna hear some stories about the Navy that I've probably heard a few times over, but I enjoy hearing them. But yeah, I'm gonna shoot off. I'm gonna come back soon. I'll do like a beat making stream just for an hour, very little talking, so you guys can just kind of watch me work. And yeah, as always, my DMs are always open. The Discord's always open. Throw me some questions. There'll be a new video out tomorrow at 4:30 as per. And I think you guys, especially if you're into your lo-fi and stuff, you'll really enjoy that session. But yeah, a pleasure as always to sit down with you guys. And I'll catch you very, very soon. Big love. Be good to yourselves.